Hello, my name is Ronita Hawes Saunders, and welcome to Undesign the Redline exhibit. I want to share with you why I am particularly interested in this topic. I am a native Daytonian. I have lived here for my entire life, and I love this community. However, when I was a child, there were a lot of experiences that I had with my family that were not necessarily in the best light of my hometown. My parents were in the real estate business, and we experienced quite a bit of racism and prejudice when we had an opportunity to move into a particular neighborhood in Dayton, Ohio. I want to share some of the thoughts about my experience and the experiences that others have had living in the Miami Valley. Both my mother, Rosa Hawes, and my father, Frank Hawes, were in the real estate business in the 50s and 60s in Dayton, Ohio. I was a youngster, so I am sharing with you my memories of being very young. My parents were active in the civil rights movement, and so they felt very strongly about opportunities for Black people, Negroes at the time, to be able to have the opportunity for home ownership. So from time to time, my father would sell a home to a Black family and then find that after they moved into the neighborhood, the neighbors did not want them there. That's sort of the final stage of these situations. In the redlining scenario, there would be many occasions where Black families were not able to purchase homes, not because they couldn't afford them, but because they were not allowed to then purchase a home. Either they wouldn't be able to get the home loan, the mortgage companies were very much involved in this, or the real estate companies would not help them to be able to purchase a home, or the neighbors themselves or the individuals themselves would not sell their homes to Black people. Both my mother and my father were very determined to make sure that we would have an opportunity, we Black people would have a part of the American dream. Some of my earliest memories had to do when we first moved into an all-white neighborhood in West Dayton. The area was Residence Park, and we moved into the home. I had the opportunity to go to then an all-white school. The teachers didn't like me. They didn't like a child who was Black coming into the classroom, into the school. The neighborhood children were not allowed to play with me. They did not want people did not want their children to play with me in the neighborhood. So that personal experience is one that I remember. A question I'm often asked is, how did that impact you as an individual? It impacted me because it was the first time in my life, and I was 7 years old, it was the first time in my life that I realized that there was a difference in terms of how people see us, how people see Black people. It seems to me that in order for our community as a whole, in order for our state, in order for our nation, in order for our country to be able to move beyond the point of the problems and the challenges and the racism of the past, what you have to have is a true understanding of your history. You have to be honest, you have to be forthright, and you have to be intentional about those things that occurred. What arts and culture allows one to do is to be able to express those stories that I mentioned with heart, passion, soul, voice, with performance, but also with real meaning in terms of what moving beyond where we've been actually means to a community. I think this exhibit is an excellent example of overcoming challenge, being able to move beyond the barriers and to be able to build bridges from the history to the present that is meaningful and beneficial for our community here in Dayton, Ohio. What we want you to do is to think about your connectivity to Dayton, Dayton's history, to your neighborhood, and to share your story just as many of us have done.